Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. I've started the next book in the Wheel of Time series. This is Winter's Heart, book 9. And so far, two things have happened in the prologue that is of note to me. Elaine and Avienda have become first sisters, and I absolutely loved this ceremony. They had to give each other compliments, they had to insult each other, essentially. They had to slap each other, hug each other. It was fantastic. So far, my favorite part of this book. And then after that, we skip to Loghain's camp. Loghain is building up his own army, and he's got a whole bunch of sisters there, including two Aes Sedai who have bonded to him, and we've learned that Elida has sent them with an order to round up all men who can channel and to still them. Loghain has found their papers and has burned them. So he knows of this order, but he's burned the order. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So just really quickly check in for Winter's Heart, Chapter 2. We're with Perrin, and Faile has been kidnapped by Morghese. Now remember, Morghese is under essentially disguise, and no one knows who she truly is, and Perrin thinks that she's just Faile's maid that's always with her. They have disappeared, so Morghese has essentially kidnapped Faile. It's gonna get, I hope it's gonna get interesting from here. The last book was not interesting at all. I'm hoping maybe this one will be better. I've heard that this one is not better, but we'll see. I'm hoping that maybe my slog is not like everyone else's slog. Yeah, that's it for now. So chapter 4 of Winter's Heart is a big one. We get Faile on her own away from Perrin. She is held captive by the Aiel, with Magdin and Alejandra, and we get to see kind of how the Aiel are working at this time, and they have an Aes Sedai there from the White Tower, who's also, Faile and her, Alejandra and Magdin / Morghese they've just been collared. One of the Aiel tells her that she's willing to help them escape, and then the Aes Sedai that they have there comes and says, like, if you fetch this thing from me, I'll help you escape. Faile has revealed who she is in her anger, and she says, well, Savannah's got big plans for your husband and Randolph Thor. So she'll have a field day if she knows who she truly has, and I'll tell her if you don't do this for me. So she's basically blackmailing Faile into stealing something from one of the Aiels for her because of Faile's temper and revealing who she truly is. So this has definitely been my favorite chapter so far in this book, and I think one of my favorite chapters in this series so far, because you get to see so much at play, and I love Faile too. So, yep. So I'm up through chapter 10 now, and some things have happened in just these last couple chapters. Elaine was attacked. There was almost an assassination. A couple assassins snuck into her room while she was taking lunch alone. Her tea was poisoned. The men had poisoned daggers, and one of her maids came in and saved her, essentially. Yelled out, and then randomly a man comes through to save her at just the right time, so you know he's suspicious. I come to the end of chapter 10, which is the next chapter after that, and we find out that someone is in chapter 10, we find out that someone is spying on Egwene and Elaine and Nynaeve and Taungriel. With a Taungriel, I forget the name of the place. Probably have that totally wrong. Anyways, the dream world that they go to talk to Egwene, someone is spying on them in there. And Nynaeve thinks it's more than one someone. By the end of this chapter, we are with the Dark Friends. And these are the people that are essentially camping out with Moigadin. And we find out that one of the people that was spying on them in the dream world that they don't know about was one of the Dark Friends that hid in the shadows. Another person that we find out at the very end that's there is the guy that saved Elaine, who was basically a setup. He put himself in that position to become captain of the guards. They have no idea he's a Dark Friend, and so things are going to get really interesting, I think. This book is starting to get more and more interesting. I am interested mostly in seeing how all of these different storylines are gonna play out, because we've got Rand as the Dragon Reborn and they kind of all revolve around him, but they also all have their own storylines going on that sometimes can go against what he wants or what he thinks needs to happen. And so I'm interested to see where these kind of converge and where they pull apart and what happens with these characters. And I think I'm going to end it here because I've fallen behind once again on these check-ins and these reading vlogs. So I'm going to put this up. I'm going to edit it tomorrow, hopefully, and get it up Thursday morning for you all, so we can get back on track with these, because I'm so sorry I've fallen so far behind. Welcome back to another weekly-ish reading vlog for Wheel of Time. We're on Winter's Heart. I'm up through chapter 12 now. And in this last chapter, we get Elaine and Avienda and Min have bonded. Well, first all four of them confess their love for each other, including Rand. And then basically Avienda and Elaine bonded with Rand and Min, so they're all four bonded now. Avienda and Min left together to go and talk and get to know each other better, while Elaine and Rand did the dirty. And we saw that, Avienda and Elaine could hear, essentially, they could feel the lovemaking in their bond, which was really awkward for them. And then we learn through Min's thoughts that Min has seen visions of both Avienda and Elaine having Rand's babies. Elaine will have 2 and Avienda will have 4 all at once, she said. She doesn't know about herself, but she knows those 2 will definitely have babies with Rand. At the very end, we learned that one of the Aes Sedai has gone missing, and a bunch of the Tiangriel are missing, including the most powerful one they have. And Nynaeve and Lan have gone away, theoretically, to follow these missing Tiangriel. Nynaeve left a note, but we don't know what the note said. So that's where I'm up to now. I'm enjoying this book more than the last book, definitely. Don't know if it's an absolute favorite of mine yet, but it's higher than some other books, so that's good. And I will check in with y'all again soon. So I'm up through chapter 20 now, and the last several chapters, like chapter 15 through 18, were absolutely hilarious. We've got Matt back. He's with the queen in Abu Dar, who's completely obsessed with him and is giving him new outfits, and he just doesn't know what to do with her. And any scene that Matt is in, you know you're gonna laugh. I absolutely loved those chapters so much. I take back my favorite chapter. That whole series of chapters was my favorite in this book so far. I'm making really good progress on this, considering I didn't start until like the middle of September. I'm hoping to maybe finish it by the end of this week, middle of next week at the latest. We'll see how far I can get. Up through chapter 34 now in Winter's Heart, and things are getting really, really interesting. Matt has met his wife slash future wife, the daughter of the Nine Moons, who was actually trying to kill him. And that whole chapter was just hilarious. Matt didn't know what to do, but knew this was the woman that he was to marry, and he had to take her with him. And the whole thing was just hilarious. And then we meet up with Rand and Lan again. They have found Faden Payne, who is trying to kill Rand. He stabbed him. Rand is, he has this wound in his side again. They, Rand does something to create an illusion of essentially zombies, dead coming back to life, which scares off Padan Fain. He goes running for his life. Then Rand and Lan make a break for it. They are up on a roof trying to get away, and Lan slips on the roof, and Rand is holding him up by one hand, and then they both fall off, and that's how the chapter ends. Lan tells Rand to let go, but Rand won't. So that's an interesting turn of events. I know Stacy and probably Leslie are wondering how I feel about Lan. I mean, he's still not my favorite. He's a good character, but he just doesn't seem to really stand out to me so far. He's there, he's helping, he's not bad. But I just feel like there are better characters in the book to obsess over, or in this series. So Lan is growing on me a little bit, but I'm still not a huge fan of him compared to some other characters. I am less than 100 pages away from the end, really hoping to finish it up today. If I can finish soon, I will finish in this reading vlog. Depends on how long it takes me. This may be the last one, or there may be one really short one after this with the ending. But that's it for now. So finished Winter's Heart, and y'all, that ending was crazy. Rand and Nynaeve linked together to remove the taint of the male power, which drew in like a ton of the Forsaken. They had battles with Aes Sedai and Ashaman linked up together in circles, and it was just insane. At the end of it all, Rand and Nynaeve were left unconscious, but the taint was removed, and some people call this book a slog, but I really enjoyed this one. My initial rating is a 4-star. I still have to do the call pile score and figure out what the actual final rating is. But this one I enjoyed a lot. Definitely more than the last two books. I would not call this a slog because so much happened in this book. And it's got me really excited to read the rest of the series. We've got, I think if I counted correctly, 5 books and 1 novella left in the series, and I am so excited for the rest of this series.